Hey, how are you doing? I hope you are doing great. Now, I just want us to have a quick conversation today about something that really saved my children and also really saved my own life. And it's something that as parents we underestimate because we don't actually know the impact of it. And today I'm going to be talking about the power of journaling, the power of journaling, because as parents, we teach our children, yes, how to read, we teach them how to write, we teach them how to solve problems. But the question is, are we really teaching them how to process their thoughts and their emotions? Because we know, whether we like it or not, our children are children, they're human beings, they've got thoughts, they've got emotions, right? And when they have this thought and emotion based on what they are saying around them, how do they process it so that they can be able to manage their behavior in a way that is not destructive to them? And one of the powerful things, in fact, before I even continue, let me just share with you a story. And I've said this before, time and over again. When it comes to relationship, especially between parents, right? Things do happen in the house, things do happen in the environment. And sometimes we ignore it. We feel like, you know what? No, children, they are not aware of it. They don't know that we're fighting. They don't know that this thing is happening. They don't know that we're beefing against each other. Guys and girls, whether we like it or not, I always say, even the atmosphere, in fact, wars do have ears. And if they have ears, talk less about children that are living under that same roof. Okay. So there was this time that when my relationship was really rocky with my partner and things were happening, and we knew at that time that, you know what, we were not quarreling in front of our children. We had our beef, our differences, but we will always say it and talk whenever the kids are not there. But we did not realize that these things were affecting, even though with that it was really affecting our children. And my daughter was one of the quiet ones. She was an introvert. She will hardly express her, whatever thing she was going through. And there was one time at the point of our relationship that I got him a diary, a journal. It was like a diary, but it had like a lock, a lock on it. And she would write her emotions, she would write her thoughts, she would write how she felt and all of that, and she would lock it with a key. And on this fateful day, she went to school and left that journal unlocked. And when I got into that journal and started reading what my daughter was writing, at her age, I was shocked. I was shocked, and I felt like, you know what? All this while, this is what this child has been processing, this is what this child has been going through, and we just feel like everything is normal. Honestly, that really was a turning point. Down the line, of course, when the relationship broke down and I had to move away with the children, trying to make the children heal or trying to get them through the process was very difficult. And they were not talking. I will see them like really down, emotionally down. But when I ask them, are you all right? They'll say, I'm fine. Are you okay? I am fine. Especially with teenagers. It's commonly with teenagers. You ask them, how are you? I'm fine. Because they don't want to express themselves because they feel like, they don't want to hurt you. And so one thing I did is that I said, okay, if you don't want to talk to me, I want you to write your emotions down, write how you feel. And that is where even me, I did not know the power of journaling. That is where even myself, I started journaling my own thought and emotions as well. And so one simple tool that can make a big difference, like I've already said, is journaling, because journaling will give your children a safe space to express themselves. Because you know what, not every child will find it easy to talk about what they are feeling, because some children will struggle to put their emotions into word, and others will actually worry that if they say it how they feel, they're going to be judged or misunderstood. And many children, I tell you, our children, they try to guard themselves because they don't want to hurt you, the parents, and they don't want to make you feel like start tearing up, start crying, start lamenting, and they will bottle it up. But mine, trust me, although they're bottling up, they are struggling with their emotions within them. So but when we have a journal, journaling for them can become a place where they can be honest with themselves. And for me, once they started journaling, in fact, I had to turn the idea into a journal. I wrote this journal. I wrote this journal, Let's Talk Journal, which is just, it's the 10-minute daily journaling for teenagers. And I tell you, it has really gone to help a lot of parents and as well as children. Because like I say, when you're journaling as a child, when you teach your child to journal, journaling is a place where they can write about their fears, they can write about their dreams, their frustration, their achievement, and also ask questions. The question that may be going in their head that, they may not know how to ask you, the parent, but you give them that liberty to just go wide with your journal. Let them write anything. That journal is like their daily conversation partner that they can talk to, and journaling also helps your child to develop that self-awareness. It teaches them to pause and reflect instead of bottling everything up. And it can also help them to reduce their stress and anxiety by giving them a healthy outlet for their emotion. Because guess what? This body is just like a bottle that if we keep bottling, it's going to explode. So if your child is not feeling comfortable to speak to you, or maybe at a particular time, at least they can spill it out in their journal, and that will release that stress, that pressure, that doubt that they're going through. And sometimes if your child can give you the permission to go into their journal and read maybe after what they've written, it can also give you a clue to know how you can support your child to navigate the emotion or the struggles that they're going through. And like I always say, this doesn't have to be complicated, right? They can write about, what made them happy, because in this journal, there are just 3 questions that I put in there. I was like, what is on my mind today? What will make me feel better today? What lesson have I learned today? These are just quick questions that, it gives them that guide, to know how they can express themselves. And someday it can just help them, what have I learned today? Someday just write grateful. What are you grateful for? What are the challenges that I face today? What is that tiny goal that I want to achieve today? And for younger children, journaling can also include drawing. It can include stickers. It can include simple sentences. Like you could see in this journal, there is a portion, this portion, right? There it says, close your eyes and take a deep breath. What is 8 plus 9, right? At least that is a distractive technique, especially if they're going through kind of stress. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Look into the mirror and say, I love you 10 times. So these are little tips, little distractive techniques in the journal that can help your child. And the goal is not about a perfect writing. The goal is about helping your child to understand themselves, and, I always say, sometimes journaling, and you must not get like a proper journal. You can just make it, even with exercise, with some sheets of paper. You can design something at home for them, but make it feel like, it is theirs, so that they know that is where they can go there and just scribble whatever thing they are going through. So one thing I just want to say is that journaling, again, is a beautiful reminder of your child's growth, their resilience, and their journey. Because when you pick that journal and look back, you can see how that child has come, how far they have come. And as parents, we are not just raising children, right? We are helping them to build healthy habits for life. And journaling is that one small habit that can actually have a very lasting impact. And sometimes the most powerful conversations, with our children will always begin from a notebook, like I say, especially if they can give you that permission to have a look in their journal just to see what they're writing. And then that journal can be as a guide for you now to support your child in the best way that is best for them. Because sometimes our own way, we may be supporting them in a direction that is not really what they want. But if they've got it in the journal, that journal can serve as a guide. So I will encourage you today to start journaling. Teach your child how to journal. You can grab a copy of this. This is on Amazon for people who want to can order from Amazon. It's there. I'm going to put the link below, so that can help your child and even help you as well. There's adult journal for parents as well. I hope you took something from this. I love you. Take care. Bye.